Hi, it's Peg and Des on
Sons of Anarchy.
I was blown away by last night's season premiere. I don't think I have been so shocked by a television show in a while. I have tons of feelings about what went on Sons of Anarchy last night. But before we dive in, I just want to remind you guys, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, leave us comments. We love to hear your comments, and let us know what you think.
Absolutely. Make sure to check out the other videos on our channel.
All right, let's dive in. So the episode started out with so much going on. I don't think they actually played the theme song until 15 minutes into the show.
I forgot that the theme song hadn't been played. I am engrossed in the show, and then all of a sudden it's like, riding through this world. I said, wait a minute, all of that was the cold opening. There was so much activity.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, we find out that Lila has been hurt.
Yes.
And somehow she got hired out to participate in something that turned into some sort of torture porn with these Iranians or Persians, as the guys were calling them, until Peter Weller shows up later in the episode and corrects them, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, she's involved in some sort of torture porn scene. So of course the Sons are gonna ride out and figure out what the hell happened to her.
So there were a couple of interesting things about that whole situation. As soon as she showed up and she was all beat up talking about a new situation that she was involved in, I said to myself, oh Lord, here we go. When Jax turned around and told the woman, I don't know, who's the woman that did the booking for her? Do we know her?
No, she's just a random whore.
He turns, well, that's what he called her. He turns around and goes, you're a stupid whore.
Yeah.
I cracked up. It's not a way for a man to speak to a woman, but that was hilarious.
But this is the thing about Sons of Anarchy. There's a strong underlying theme of misogyny in this show.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, I watched some online videos with Kurt Sutter talking about it. It kind of, and you see it play out throughout this episode. This is one example of it, and there's more later on.
Right. So we learned that the reason why she's doing porn is because she has no money, has a lot of pride, doesn't want to ask the club for anything, and they ride out to what can be the most disgusting sex studio I've ever seen in my life. There's a tub of urine, there are people in cages, there is...
A woman being raped?
Just on the floor, being raped, in a gangbang.
Yeah.
So they're hiring these girls out, and the women are going thinking that it's, you know, some basic video or some basic engagement with a guy, and come to find out it's the most disgusting stuff. And then I said to myself, well, who's watching it? If y'all are producing it, who's watching it?
Sadly, there are people out there.
I was so disgusted by that. But the Sons go in and wreck shop.
Right. They wreck shop, and they end up, you know, getting busted by what we think is the police.
Well, it is the police.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it is the Stockton police, but the Stockton police don't work for the police department. The Stockton police work for...
Peter Weller.
There you go. And that is when we see the Sons go over to Peter Weller. They have to apologize for being in his territory, because that's what criminals do. When you go into another criminal's territory, you have to announce yourself and say what your business is in the territory.
Right.
And they didn't do that. And Peter says, you didn't do it this time, don't let it happen again.
Right. I'm actually really glad to see Peter Weller with a job. It's been a while since RoboCop. Yes. So Peter Weller offers, like, somehow they get into a new business opportunity offer.
He recognizes Nero. He says,
"Oh,
aren't
right.
you the whorehouse owner?"
Right.
And Nero was like, that is me. And they shake hands, and then that's when...
And Jax is making deals within 2 minutes. Nero was like, hi, what just happened?
But which begs the question, are they really vetting opportunities, right? Who are these people? How do you know they're legitimate? How do you know that they're not going to be a problem for you?
Well, Nero knew this guy apparently. So
Right.
we meet a madam who has a brothel that she wants to take into an escort service, which is Nero's specialty. And right from get-go, she's like giving Jax the eye. Right from get-go.
She's asking for that good McKinsey consulting from Nero. How do I turn my brothel into a formalized escort service?
Right. And so, you know, we'll talk more about the madam and how she plays with the things in a little bit. Let's check in on jail, because there's a whole lot of people in jail.
Let me tell you something. everybody is incarcerated. There were
Everyone's
enough
incarcerated.
orange jumpsuits to go around this episode. Number one is Otto. When that episode opened, to him being raped by another man,
Yeah.
I literally did this. Like I did pull away from my television a little bit.
It was brutal.
so difficult to watch. I mean,
brutal.
of course we know that prison rapes happen a lot. That's the norm, not the exception, but it was disgusting nonetheless.
And there comes the marshal showing up, taunting Otto, asking him if he has anything that he wants to say to the sons, and promising
Daily rape.
this is going to happen every morning.
You will get raped like Wheaties every single morning.
That marshal is brutal. And then the marshal goes to visit Clay.
That's right.
And basically says
Clay's
to him,
living large compared to Otto, though.
right, Clay has his own room.
He got a book. I was like, is that a water cooler?
Chilling. And basically Marshall is like, you are here by the grace of me.
Right.
And this is going to end unless you give me evidence against the sons.
And Clay plays hardball at first, continues reading his book, acts like he doesn't care.
Right.
But then time is up, and it's time to head to Gin Pop. We see Clay heading down the hallway with the blanket in hand, the door opens, and there are a lot of people of the African diaspora standing on the other side of the door, and Clay loses his mind.
Well, I mean, there's a bounty on Clay's head based on what Jax did to Pope last season.
Right, and August Marks is going to make sure that that bounty is taken care of.
Right, so Clay knows as soon as he steps out there, his name is Mud. He might have 20 minutes before somebody shoots him.
20 minutes? I don't even know that he would have 2.
Right, so he's like, yeah, I'll give evidence, whatever, and he goes back to cushy living.
Right.
Now let's talk about Tara. Poor Tara has joined the cast of Orange is the New Black.
Yes, with a new bowl cut.
Right, she got a bad haircut. She is in there, and she's not looking good. Her lawyer visits her, and she's like, look, it's dire for you. And then the marshal visits her and says, you think Gemma turned you in? Oh no, sister.
Right.
I turned you in. That marshal is wilding out. He is all over the place.
But rolling up on people in a very intelligent fashion. Marshall has a lot of leverage. And as he's talking to Tara, he says to her, you forged some documents. She says, the only reason I did that, he goes, ha, you just admitted a felony on camera.
Yes.
So you want to play this game with me, young girl? I'm going to have you in here for 5 to 7.
He wants her to give up Jax.
Yes.
That's what he asks for. And to her credit, she says, no, thank you. I'm not going to do it. Do your worst. But she's obviously terrified.
Yes.
But, and I think as a result, or maybe, I think she, last season things with her and Jax weren't really good at the end. And now she won't talk to him at all. She won't see him. She won't let him attend any of her arraignments.
No. She's
just cut him off completely. And
right.
Jax is pretty devastated over this.
Right.
And I think that is what leads into this, sex that he has with the madam of the brothel who was eyeing him up.
Right.
earlier.
Before we get into the sex with the madam of the brothel, I just want to talk about Tara and how she decides to break bad in prison. Tara gets her blanket snatched and then just loses her mind in prison and beats the crap out of another woman in there. When I saw that, I was wondering, is this the show's way of telling us that Tara's going to get used to being in jail?
No, I mean, I think it's like she's clearly very frustrated at her situation. I mean, she's in big trouble. And also, in prison, if you're a punk, you're just going to keep getting punked. So she was like, I need to make a stand now. So maybe it is an indication she'll be there for a while and she needs to have some sort of like protection for herself by showing she's tough. I don't know, because they said that she would be home very soon after her arraignment. So we'll see what happens there. But Jax is in need of comfort.
Yes, the madam, like you were saying.
I will say that scene to me, it was clear that it wasn't really about the sex. He was looking for comfort. And the madam happened to be providing it.
Jax was in the mood to make love. He was not in the mood to... I think so.
No, he looked so sad and so upset, and he just was sitting there and...
No, I'm not disagreeing that he had those feelings. What I'm saying is he wasn't... Just like you said, it wasn't just about the sex. I think that he was in need of an emotional connection with someone in that moment.
I don't even... I mean, maybe I don't even know that it was a true emotional connection. I truly think it was about comfort. I think he needed to be comforted, and he hadn't had sex in a while. For these dudes, that's like a week, you know. And so I think here's the matter, but she's like being tender and sweet, and he's like, okay, all right, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm interested to see if this is going to be a long-term thing or if this was just a one-night piece of comfort.
Well, I know Tara's not going to be taken too kindly to it. She already told him last season, I'm not going to put up with any of this bullshit. So you need to make sure that you understand if you cheat on me, you're hurting not just me, but our entire family. So.
And I guess he forgot. So let's talk about the conversation between August Marks and Jax. It's an extensive conversation, but the gist of it is that August still wants Tig dead.
I know. I was shocked. I thought Tig was off the
in the clear.
In the clear.
Not really.
But Tig is another emotional wreck that's walking around on this show. He, gets taunted by one of the guys, the Persians, the Iranians, and when he brings up his daughter,
Tig loses it.
And we know what happened to the daughter last season. And so Tig just loses his mind, wilds out, drowns the man in a tub of urine in a scene that I had to turn away at that point.
And then he urinates on him himself.
Oh, God. The show with the violence and the disgustingness. Oh, Lord.
Well, we now know that, there's still an outstanding bounty for him. So we still want him dead. He better watch his back.
Yeah, I'm going to take bets that Tig's not going to last the season this time.
That's a bet I'm not willing to take because I agree with you 100%. He is going down.
Right.
But one person who has managed to get out and get a new home and a new refrigerator is our friend Bobby.
Yes.
Bobby is out. And he's thinking about going nomad and only needs 3 or 4 other people to make it happen. It seems like he's actively recruiting.
Was it me or did Juicy look like he was ready to join the new Nomads?
Yes.
Like Jack said to Chibs, their table is in shambles. They have lost so many members. They've kicked out members. People are walking away every day. Jax needs to pull shit together, quickly.
Right.
His house is not in order. And I think Bobby is going to start a new branch of Sons.
And it'll be interesting to see the dynamic between what Bobby gets going and, what Jax has going. I'm excited to see that. This season, based on last night, promises to be full of a lot of foolishness, and I can't wait.
God, I'm watching with through my fingers.
Make sure to come back and check us out next week because we'll be doing another review of Sons of Anarchy, and make sure to check out our other videos on our channel.
Yeah, and again, please remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.